So we've been spending a lot of time on the Israel-Iran situation, and you have to imagine actually that what we're seeing now in America's largest city actually might be a little bit related. It might be a little bit of a political after effect to what we've seen between Israel and Iran. And it is potentially one of the most horrifying political issues that is happening in real time. Allow me to introduce you to Zohran Qawami Mamdani, a Muslim candidate who is literally a communist running to become the next mayor of New York City. The election is today. Well, at least the Democrat primary is. So the incumbent mayor is Eric Adams. Eric Adams, who hasn't been a great mayor, but he hasn't been a terrible mayor. Remember, he was under indictment and then it got dropped. He's running as an independent, so he's not participating in the Democrat primary. This guy is a whole different genre of politics than we have seen. He embodies the red-green axis with more tenacity and focus than anybody we have seen in quite some time. Mamdani is a communist who is also a Mohammedan. Now, as a Mohammedan, he has really kind of been given a free pass. No one has really been able to ask questions about it because they say, oh, you're an Islamophobe. But let's just take a step back here. Imagine from the 35,000-foot view, if you are trying to continually have Mohammedanism take over the West, wouldn't they love to have both London and New York, the two prior Anglo centers of financial markets and cultural influence, now under Mohammedan rule? We've been warning about the rise of Islam on the show to great amount of backlash. We don't care. That's what we do here. And we said that Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. Let me say it again. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. And now you have Zohran Qawami Mamdani is the leading candidate for the race. And this kind of happened the last couple of days. Cuomo was out polling him for the last couple of weeks. And you have to wonder, is this kind of an after effect of anti-Israel sentiment? By the way, just so we're clear, the Qawami part of his name is because his communist professor dad gave him that name in honor of Kwame Nkrumah, a Marxist dictator in Ghana who completely ruined his country's economy and left it in poverty before getting overblown. This guy is the embodiment of the worst possible elements of American politics. You see, Mamdani is not just your typical Democrat. He's not just like Letitia James. He's a whole level above that. He wants to nationalize, or at least, let's say, make the grocery stores public. He literally wants to have grocery stores owned by the city government, public co-ops, as we call it, because Mamdani wants to make bread lines great again. Mamdani wants to bring back the idea that you get a little coupon, and the coupon is what you get to eat. Everybody, this is not a drill. This is America's largest city. This is the biggest city in America. Now, Mamdani has largely been able to go under the surface. It's kind of been a subterranean threat. No one really took him seriously. And mind you, he uses the word Zohran as if he's trying to be some sort of like Aladdin figure. Yeah, I'm kind of like some Middle Eastern hero. No. You don't mess with Zohran is what they say. No. Instead, Mamdani is like, well, that's a different type of name. This is literally a video of Mamdani saying that food costs too much and that we are going to have the government take over grocery stores. Play cut 400.
Grocery prices are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zohran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you.
Understand the Mohammedans, they will not rest. We as Westerners, we take Islam as kind of a innocent threat. What if I told you that there is a Muslim mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, a Muslim mayor of the Rotterdam in Netherlands, major city, a Muslim mayor in Calgary in Canada, Nakhneed Nenshini, or in Prospect Park, New Jersey, or in the Brussels region of Belgium? You see, Mohammedans, they only know how to conquer in politics. New York has a very large Muslim community with an estimated 750,000 Muslims living in the city as of 2018. Here is Zohran Mamdani, who legitimately is a communist. That video you just saw is about confiscating the private property of grocery stores. Oh, the government's going to take over the grocery stores. He's vowed to take police away from high crime areas and send social workers instead. Yeah, the gangbangers up in the Bronx, that's what they want. They want a social worker. This guy is a card-carrying Muslim Marxist. He is the embodiment of everything we've been warning about the red-green axis. Play cut 402.
I absolutely think that what we need to do is give support and funding to institutions that are trained to deal with these kinds of issues. As you said, if you're having an argument with someone and there's a risk of it escalating, who is better positioned to de-escalate it? Someone who is well known in the community, or someone who has been trained specifically in de-escalation, or a stranger who has a gun? And I think that we need to say and ask ourselves, look at how policing is done in the suburbs, in wealthier, whiter America. When people make mistakes, the answer is not to throw them in jail.
No.
The answer is not to, put them in a cage and throw away the key. The answer is to try and find a non-carceral solution.
Absolutely.
Community service, something where, they learn from their mistakes. There's a sense of accountability and growth, all these kinds of things, which for many people in this country, especially black people, are not offered the same opportunity.
This is pure oppressor-oppressed Marxist struggle dynamics. The answer is criminals go to jail. He is a classic doctrinaire Marxist. And then you add the Mohammedism, which makes us even more of a lethal threat. Everybody, John Lennon used to say that New York City was the center of the world. This is not just some sort of random mayor's race in North Carolina. Love North Carolina. Or in Wisconsin. This is the center of the world. This is the pinnacle of our financial, cultural, and iconic American city. Most people abroad, when they think of America, they'll think of New York City. It's where our current president built the skyline. And we're going to talk more about this after the break, but I want to leave you with a heavy and somber thought about this Mohammedism that is on pace to become the next mayor of New York City. He makes Bill de Blasio look like a moderate. Is that 24 years ago, 2 planes hit the World Trade Center. And Mohammedism attacked America. And now 24 years later, in the city where over 2,000 Americans died at the hands of Mohammedism, is Islam going to get the last laugh? Who actually won if Mamdani wins this mayor's race? Because we imported well over 500,000 of them. Now it's 750,000 of them in New York. Could you imagine New York City, the city that got attacked by Islam and Mohammedism, then now becomes conquered and ruled by Zohran Mamdani?